Hello and welcome to Beyond the Slipstream, the companion show to the Team Bus. I'm Matt. I'm here with my brother Justin, and we're going to get into some decidedly not cycling related material here as the season has ended and there's not a whole lot to talk about. However, I'm going to kick it off with what I would consider to be a massive blind spot in our categories list for this year, which we must remedy for next year's award show. And that is that we need a category called Camera Shot of the Year. Would you agree?
I agree. And as soon as you said it,
I might even go top three for that one.
as soon as you said it, it immediately brought to mind that there was one that I pointed out. I don't remember what race, but it was a viaduct or an aqueduct or a viaduct.
That Italian one, the Italian one
Where
where
they
they come up
crossed
the
the
side of
bridge
it.
and they like did the wide shot and the mountain in the background.
Yeah,
Oh my
yeah, yeah.
god, man! Some of those were just unbelievable.
Well, it's something that we talk about all the time on this
Yes.
podcast is camera shot. So it's a no-brainer. Like we
Yeah.
absolutely just like crapped the bed on that one. We should have done it. So I am going to mention one that probably would have been in the running that I came back across and I just absolutely adored from this year. I know that I've already mentioned it on that particular episode. I'm going to mention it again. And that was at the end of stage 3 of the Volta Ciclista a Catalunya. On the this is again on the women's side. There was they finished in Barcelona in Spain, and there was a helicopter shot of the very famous Sagrada Familia Cathedral, um, designed by Antoni Gaudi, that has famously taken like over 125 years to finish. However, they are in a race to completion on this thing. Like it's getting super close, as evidenced by the shot that I'm referencing here, which is just a very slow circling of this cathedral by the helicopter. It circles it a good 2.5, 3 times throughout the course of the shot because it's at the end of the race. The race is already over, and it's like in that whole like waiting time where the commentators are just
You
talking over
you
aerial
honestly
shots.
get some of the best aerial shots
Yeah,
in
because they can be
that time.
creative,
Yeah.
and they're not trying to keep up with the race or anything. And as the helicopter circles, it is zooming ever so slowly. So you're getting just every kind of look at this building that
Yeah.
you could possibly
Layers.
want. You're
Yeah.
you're you're getting the full breadth of it set against the city. You're getting to see all sides of it, and then you're just getting closer and closer and getting more and more and more and more details. And like when they get all the way zoomed in close, and you're seeing the intricacies of the tile work at the tops of these spires, and you can see like the little bridge that goes from inside the dome to like inside the spire. You can also get a very clear idea of like just how close they are to finishing the dome because they're getting up there. It's like it's
Right.
getting super close. Or I should say, not the dome, but like the main
The
spire.
steeple.
It's got a single main spire in the middle of it. You can also get a really quick kind of if you're into the sort of technical building aspect side of it, you can get a good look at like how the crane that they are using is attached to the roof of the other part of the building, so that they can build up here. It's fascinating to me how they do this kind of stuff. The engineering that goes into it is just remarkable. It's like we're gonna use another part of the building as the pedestal for a crane so that we can build the other part of the building, and then we'll come back and take the crane down, then we'll build the other part of the building back up. It's just
Think about and think about the
it's just
fact that they
wild, man.
built structures like this 1,000 years ago, and how the ingenuity of being able to do it without modern equipment. Like
Oh,
how,
it's mind-boggling.
yeah,
It's just absolutely mind-boggling. And this one is obviously using modern equipment, but still, it's also, I mean, the cathedral itself is just a one of a kind, and it's an absolute unicorn in the world of cathedrals. Um, it's just so unbelievably cool and stylistic and just singular.
it also makes me think of that great building that was in the UAE tour. That like, I think it was the UAE tour.
Hmm, hmm.
That like all
The mirror
yes, God,
that
that
would
thing
just
was
like disappear.
amazing.
It would
Yes,
like disappear against the background. Yeah, that was absolutely stunning. So we will include that category for next year. Hey, if you want to do it on the men's side, we could throw it in for next week on the men's side.
we could.
I mean, you've got most of your list done
Yeah,
already
yeah,
for next
yeah.
week. So, well, let's throw that in for the men. Only other cycling related thing I wanted to mention was a couple of transfers.
Hmm.
Cosnefroid going to UAE. Wout Poles is now going to the renamed Unibet Rose Rockets. No more Titama. And as we mentioned on our main show this week, or alluded to, Allison Jackson is going to Saint Michel Preference. I don't know anything about this team.
I
Do
know
you know anything
nothing
about this
about
team?
it. So it is a French team. It is the Saint Michel Preference Home Albert 93 is the official name of the team.
So she must like be getting sole leadership of this team. I mean, she doesn't strike me as the kind of rider that wants that necessarily. This is a strange move. I need to read up on this.
Yeah,
You
I
been
don't.
reading anything
I
about it?
mean, there really wasn't much on it from when I saw it. It was like kind of a throwaway in something else that I was reading.
Have you looked at her Instagram?
I haven't seen. You know what? I obviously haven't. I like the kind of blind spotted on that one.
I feel like with Allison Jackson, that's always the way to go is with the Instagram. Um, but I also have not looked it up.
I had another cycling related thing. Just to cap off a unbelievable season, we did not mention Isaac Del Toro in our Rider of the Year, or well, at least we haven't yet. But he did cap off his season with the double Mexican national championship in the time trial and the road race. Don't know who I mean, I'm sure that he's clearly hands above anybody else in this race. I can't imagine
Yeah,
who is.
it's like when Bernal like
Yes,
won
yeah,
them both in Colombia.
yeah. But you know, kind of a neat that it happens at the end of this season for him, so that he gets this crazy amount of wins and has this really really unbelievable season and is able to go home and dominate in his home races, and which means next year it doesn't matter where he's at, he's going to be wearing that Mexican national championship jersey.
Oh yeah, I do. I don't know what that jersey looks like. I did not catch the podiums, and I can't just like think of it off the top of my head. I have my fingers crossed for good things. We'll dig into that next week when we're talking men's and jerseys.
Yes.
Methinks. So, anything else to say on that? And do you have any cycling related items?
No, that is it on my cycling related items.
All right. Well, why don't we take your first non-cycling thing that you want to get into?
So one of the things that I just enjoy on a weekly basis now, and I don't watch the show per se, but I watch it on YouTube, is The Daily Show. And I don't know if you haven't spent any time with The Daily Show in recent years, you owe it to yourself to spend a little time with it, because for me, it's one of the last bastions of true, news. It's an unfiltered, definitely left leaning, version of the news, but unlike legacy media, it is unapologetic in its stance against the nonsense. And unlike a Bill Maher or a John Oliver, Bill Maher, who has gone from very left to very middle of the road, and I disagree with a lot of things that he does say.
As older folks do, yeah, no, you're right about
Yeah.
that. I mean, John Oliver, I would put more in a bucket with Daily Show.
Yes, I
Although,
do.
admittedly,
I do.
I don't.
But
I do want to hear what your point is, because I am one of those people who have not spent any time with Daily Show.
Yeah,
So
he
what is
he
it?
leans very left. I mean, John Oliver leans very left, but he came out of that camp.
Yeah,
But
that
it's
makes
just
sense.
they do a really good job. Jon Stewart hosts on Mondays, and then depending on the week, they rotate through a few different hosts. They use Josh Johnson, who's one of the best, up and coming young, black comedians.
I like how they've gone to this.
Yes,
This format is a cool format.
they use Michael Costa. They use who's the big goofy blonde guy? His name I'm blanking on. The one that does the great like Man on the Streets that they do. Oh man, it's killing
Billy
me.
Eichner.
No. It's damn. Oh,
Don't worry about it.
yeah.
Move on.
Anyway, it's wildly entertaining. They get great guests absolutely just great guests, and it's just done really, really well. It's a show that's done really, really well, that pokes fun at the ridiculousness of politics, and in some ways gets it more right than CNN and Fox News, God for sure. So, if you haven't spent any time with the Daily Show, it's worth it, especially in this day and age of, tyranny. Empathy is in short supply, and this is a place where you'll get a little dose of it.
Nice, nice. It's funny. I just it came to mind. Um, I'm sitting here thinking to myself, well, anybody who leans right is listening to you say that, like, yeah, right. If you want some lefty propagandizing, go there. Um, but I'm in agreement with you. I mean, that's my side of the spectrum. But it's beside the point. My point is I got a nice little dig in earlier this week with yet another one of my guests who I know has some slightly different politics than me, but we get along just fine. Um, he goes, hey, I got a joke for you. Wait, what did he say? He said, what did um or no, he said he goes, I know what I'm gonna dress as for when the kids come trick or treating to my house on Halloween. I'm gonna go as a liberal. I'll just take half their candy and I'll give it to the kids who are too lazy to go trick or treating. And I was like, I gave him a little chuckle. I walked off and I came back and I said, uh, I decided what I'm gonna what I'm gonna go as when I'm greeting the trick-or-treaters in my house. I'm gonna go as a conservative. I'm gonna take half their candy away from them and give it to the nearest billionaire.
I mean, the
And
ridiculous,
and he could only help but chuckle.
the ridiculousness of the notion. But I mean, I think this is one of those things that, if it's on the table, let's say the quiet part out loud. This is the thing that conservatives, I think don't understand. As a person whose wife is literally her livelihood is tied into benefits, all right, and people getting things. The notion that conservatives feel like we need to punish 95% of the people that get assistance because of 5% of people abusing the system is utterly laughable to me. Is that, you know, they take this some sort of like glee in saying like, oh, we're going to take this thing that so many people rely on and we're going to equate it that if you need it, that it's laziness. And it's like, well, first off, most of the people that are on food stamps in the United States are working. Okay, let's call it what it is. They're not sitting at home. Do some people? Yes. Disabled people by the millions. All right. Also, people with disabilities. All right. And now in this month, where EBT and SNAP benefits are going to be non-existent for those people, people like my wife are coming up with plans to help feed the people that she serves. All right. Because they're adults with disabilities. All right. They're not going to be like some of them work, some of them can't work.
Also, there's Meals on Wheels. That's like getting hard hit. That's just like feeding old people, like the old people who don't have anybody and don't like. But you know what? But what we know we do have the money for though, 40 billion for Argentina.
Yeah, and 230 million to demolish and destroy the White House. But again,
Trump's buddies have
hundreds
have
of
all bought into
of,
Argentina, and like we're giving them 40 billion. But if it fails, well, their investment is backed by the U.S. So
we have money for tax breaks for billionaires. We have money for ICE, to the tune of hundreds of millions of dollars, which is the most laughable thing about, if you're still supporting Trump at this point, is he lied to you. He said that he was going to be fiscally responsible. They have done zero
Right. It's getting worse and
fiscal
worse. Of course, everybody
responsibility
knew it.
in
Everybody knew
eight
it, but he
months.
doesn't care because he's trying to erode the like he's going into all these cities with the National Guard and everything because he's going to try to create a case for a national emergency in which he can suspend voting.
Well, and
He only needed one term. Of course, he lied to everybody. Now he's going to do the real agenda because he's not planning on having an election.
well, and not only that, you know, and it's like, first off, what did you vote for if you did vote for him? But let's call it back and say, you know, I I I honestly think that this is, them suspending the SNAP benefits. This is part of the plan too, because one thing that you can bet your bottom dollar on is when people start to get hungry, things are going to get bad and things are going to get violent and people are
Yep.
going to lash out, and that's the excuse they'll use to go in and create this police state in the United States.
Yep. It's
And
coming.
and if you think that that's not their plan, then you're fucking stupid. I'm just going to say it. I will
I
say
mean,
it.
we're already seeing it starting to happen.
Yeah, and
Masked thugs running amok,
yeah,
pulling
it's
people off the street
with
and
no
throwing them into
accountability.
detention camps.
With no
Oh,
accountability.
that's the other thing. Trump's got the money for. Um, it's like 50 billion of this money going to the military. Yes, for building detention centers.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're about to build like 20 new detention centers or
Yeah,
something
it's
like that.
ridiculous. Because jail
Totally
is good
insane.
business.
Yeah,
Yeah,
jail
everybody
is
loves
really
it.
good
Yeah,
business.
everybody loves it. But again,
All right,
here we are.
we
Yeah.
gotta get off this subject.
Don't miss the Team Bus, our weekly podcast about pro cycling, and oh, did I mention pro cycling? We're kind of obsessed. Dropping into your usual podcast feeds every Wednesday.
I will, the thing I'm going to talk about, the thing I most want to get in. I got a couple of movies.
Yeah.
That
No,
I
no,
can
no. I
talk
want to
about
see
or
that. I
not.
want you to talk about the kid's birthday.
But yeah, so I'm going to make a rousing endorsement for some folks, not for all folks, but if it's the kind of thing that you feel like you might be up for the parents out there, to go with the home birthday party for your kids. It can be a very, very fun and cost-effective way to go for you. So we just had a birthday party here over the weekend on Saturday. Very busy weekend. Then we had trunk or treat on Sunday. I still managed to bag up 16 bags of leaves from the yard this weekend in the midst of all that. So it can be cost effective if you plan it right. You don't have to go anywhere. And kids, I remember this from when I was a child. Kids love having their friends over their house. Like there's nothing better for a kid than to have friends over to your place to show off your stuff, right?
Yes.
And then that's on steroids because your friends are coming over, but if your parents are on the ball, like the house is really cool. Like you've done all this stuff to make the house really cool for the party. So for us, the kids well, first of all, we asked the kids, what do you want? We're going to have your birthday party here at the house. What do you want? And they said neon dance party. That's what they want. Neon dance party.
That's amazing.
Oh, and then at some point, like ducks got into it as well, like rubber duckies got into it as well. So they go to Dollar Tree. She gets black light bulbs for her family room, right? She gets like 6 black light bulbs. She gets balloons, streamers, like glow stick jewelry, glow jewelry. And then she gets some crafting supplies. It's a great thing to do at a kid's party. Is like have a couple of activities so you can be like, okay, we're doing this thing. All right, now we're moving on to this thing. Okay, so you keep it exciting and fresh for the kids. They don't get bored. And then so they started off doing the craft. They wanted to make masks, so we got like 8-pack of those little white masks that all kids like these days, and all the crafting materials that you need to go with it. Got out the glue guns, and it's got a whole station set up, and it looked really cool. So when they walk, the kids walk in, they're like, "Oh my God, wow, look at this cool station. We're gonna get to do this thing." And so it didn't cost a lot. The stuff for that probably cost $40 for that part of the for that part of the party. And then the neon stuff probably costs another $40. And then we ordered up some pizza. That's another $40. And cake supplies are $10-15,
Litos.
and you're there. Now we just got pizza bowlies. But yeah, and the kids absolutely adored it. We gave them, we told them to get on Spotify and make the playlist for the dance party, so we didn't have to worry about that. Forwarded the playlist to mommy. Mommy put it on the Sonos. It's all good to go. They made the cat masks. They danced. They ate pizza. They ate their cakes. The cakes. I made the cakes. I got all the frosting ready. I said, "You decorate it. Go to town." So they did it exactly the way they wanted to do it. They put the little plastic duckies on top. And
I feel like
very
this
cute.
is a thing that like people have gotten away from, like especially during like I can think back with with my kids. It's like that was the staple when we were a kid was like you had your birthday party at your house. Like
Or
it's
yeah,
it's
sometimes you go to like a
like a
you go to
Chuck E.
like an
Cheese or
arcade
something like that.
pizza place kind of thing.
But it
Yeah.
was mostly like it was mostly like the
There's
ones
also for girls. There's like the roller skating
I
rink.
will also say that the ones that I remember the most are the ones that were at somebody's house.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? That
absolutely.
is for sure. And so, good on you for doing that for them because it'll be a better memory than just going to
Yeah.
some place.
It just feels easy peasy, and it's kind of fun for the adults because, of course, you get joy from watching your kids having a good time, and the kids are just loving it. And, especially with Mandy and I mean, I will admit, like for a single parent, this might be a bit harder to pull off. It's nice that we have two of them. Um, we also are sort of natural entertainers because
Hmm.
I've worked in the hospitality industry my whole career, and she basically did for half of her career so far, and so that sort of stuff comes natural to us. But we it's just fun. We're just kind of in the kitchen, and we're just kind of moving things along and giving a little push here and a little suggestion there, and just making sure that that things
That it
are
stays on
going well.
track.
Yeah, and the kids don't know it, but like they're thankful for it. Um, and by the time they're ready to go, the kids are like, "Oh, I don't want to go," and they're crying. And why can't it be longer? And Mandy and I are always looking at each other like, "Yeah, we should have made it another hour." Like um, because they're just having such a good freaking time. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? So, and it just seems so low impact, like not having to go to the skating rink or the pizza place or whatever, the American Girl store, and like we did the American Girl
It's
thing, and that thing
it's less
we put out $300
yeah,
that day.
it's less materialistic. It's I don't know. I'm all
Yeah,
for it. I'm all for it.
yeah,
I really
and it
am.
was looking super cool, made for some great photos and stuff like that. So, big
No.
recommendation
I'm
if you can pull it off.
all for that. Absolutely.
All right, we
Absolutely.
got a little time left here. What else you got?
Um, morning show is getting. I don't know if you've ever watched the morning show. It's on Apple TV. It's the Jennifer Aniston.
No, I never
Um,
never watched that one.
we started watching it a couple years ago. It was very good for like two seasons. The third season's not as good. Fourth season has really come back in a big way.
I just
Um,
heard a podcaster talking about that very thing.
um, it's very good because it does shine a light on. It's weird though because it's like it shines a light on things like a year and a half later, so it does feel a little dated sometimes. But the early seasons, the with Steve Carell, like the premise is just that it revolves around this Good Morning America type show,
Hmm. Hmm.
and Aniston and Steve Carell were like the longtime hosts, and then it starts to like kind of go off the rails with some controversies and things like that. But it's very interesting, especially in the first two seasons. Third season, like I said, not so great. Fourth season's done really, been a lot better. The shining star of this show, though, is somebody that I feel like does not get enough credit and is so good in so many things. Is Billy Crudup.
Hmm.
Billy Crudup is in
Yeah,
this. He's very, very good.
yeah, I've heard
Um,
he's good.
also, Marie Cotard is in it, and she does. She's been in this season's very
Cotillard,
Cotillard. Sorry,
Cotillard. Yeah.
yeah. She's been very good this season. It's just a really good crazy. The other guy that's like stellar in it, and it's been really good throughout all the seasons is Mark Duplass.
Yeah,
Oh man, he's really good, dude. Like
I like those two plosses.
yeah, man, he's really good. I was a huge fan of The League which was like a comedy show that he was on.
He's got a very nice naturalism to him, I feel like.
Yeah, he's a very likable guy. But, big recommend. You know what I mean? If you're looking for a show to watch, it's really good. It's got giant star power. John Hamm shows up playing basically Elon Musk for the third season, which was like the weaker one. But again, we like
Aniston has like a makeout with him or something.
Yeah,
there,
they have like a bit of a thing. But yeah, no, it's really a fun show to watch. I do recommend it. Do you have anything else before we wrap up?
Let me see if I can hit this in 1 minute. 2 comfort food movies that I've watched recently based on stuff in the news or that I was listening to in the wake of Robert Redford's death. I circled back to a more recent title of his. Of course, I've seen all the classics. Well, not all of them. I haven't seen Downhill Racer, but most of the classics. Spy Game. Are you a fan of this movie with Brad Pitt?
I need to go back and watch it, but yes, I've definitely watched it, and I remember it being
love
very
this
good.
thing. It just cracks right along. It's just so cool and so fun. He's having so much fun. It has that same kind of energy as the Thomas Crown Affair, another one of my comfort food movies. So check out Spy Game, and then True Grit, the Coen Brothers' True Grit. I've been listening to
Haley
Blank Check.
Steinfeld's debut,
and she really is like the reason to see this movie. She
so
is
good.
so damn good. Her and just like the majesty of the Coen Brothers dialogue is so good. It is on display in this movie. Like the dialogue is incredible. It's like I just want to be I want to be in a world where people talk like this. Where even the lowliest person that you come across, the garbage man picking up the trash, is like speaking in this kind of language. It's amazing. So we'll leave it there. Thanks for joining us. And we'll see you again for part 2 of our end of year award show on the main feed coming soon. Peace out.
Beyond the Slipstream is a companion to the Team Bus and is produced by Harperama. Find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube. Please like, subscribe, leave a review, and tell your friends about us. Thanks for listening. Talk to you next time. Ale!